So I spent the last 2 weekends here in Florence, last weekend and this weekend, and I've done a lot of things that I wanted to do before I left, checking things off the list, including today I got hot chocolate with a friend and admired all the sculptures in one of the piazzas. Yesterday we went to the leather market and I spent too much money on leather, but I want to show you what I got. I wanted a backpack because mine is falling apart. My mom has sewn the bottom of it, hand sewn the bottom of it, probably more than once now. So I wanted to get a new backpack, so here it is. Ta-da! I'm super excited. This is exactly what I had in mind. And, oh, I forgot to tell you during break, my purse also fell apart, so I wanted to get a new purse. So I did. Here it is. As the salesman told me, very nice, very good quality. He put a lighter on it. Put the lighter on everywhere. Nothing burned, nothing blew up, so that means it's real, I guess. You open it, 3 pockets. He really sold me. I'm not good at bargaining at all. So I was trying to say like, oh, I'm just gonna look around for a moment and come back. He's like, no, you get it. And I was like, oh, okay. So he was like, 50 euros. And I don't know, like $50 for a nice purse? Is that a lot? I don't know, I always buy my purses at Target. So I tried to barter a little bit. I was like 40. It was like 45. And I was like, okay. And then later, I got my backpack after. And I was holding this purse in a bag, and the salesman selling me the backpack was like, oh, how much did you pay for that purse? And I was like, oh, 40. And he like looked at his buddy across the way, and they laughed at me, made some joke. I know I paid too much for it, but it is what it is. I'm happy to have it, and I think it will last me a long time. It gave some other humans joy from my ignorance about leather and pricing and bargaining. So now let's talk about the future. Exciting things are happening. This week, one of my best friends from home is coming to visit me. I can't believe it. So we will be going around Florence. I'll try to show her as much of Florence as I can. And then we're heading to Poland for the weekend, which I'm stoked about. Poland was one of the places I did want to go before I left because I'm half Polish. And even though I don't know much about my heritage, being so close, I thought it would be a really neat experience to be able to say that I had been, where I'm from generations back. I'm just so grateful that we're going to be able to have this experience together. The next weekend after that, I'm going to Prague with one of my fellow student ambassadors / coworkers / friends from Santa Clara. We're going to Prague together, and I'm really excited for that. I don't know what to expect from Prague, but I've heard great things. I've heard great things about basically everywhere you visit here in Europe. So those are my next 2 trips. I'm only in Florence for like a week and a half after those trips, so those are my last 2 trips of the semester. I'm really happy with how I spent my time traveling and in Florence, how I balanced that. First month, I spent a lot of time in Italy, different places in Italy. And then this middle month, I've gone to a ton of different countries, which is amazing. And then this last month, I'll go to a few more different countries and stay in Florence a little bit more as well. So I think I did a great job balancing that, which I'm really happy about. Then I have my final art show, which I'm really excited about. Seeing my fellow peers' art is one of my favorite things to do, whether it's critiques in a class or going to art shows at school. I went to a restoration lab, the restoration lab in Florence this week with my restoration class. It's a really big deal to be able to go in and see the stuff. So there was just a Raphael painting laying there on the table. Someone was cleaning it off very meticulously, super casual. Vasari's Last Supper was restored there, and that is a painting that was completely ruined in the 1966 flood here in Florence. So we had the 50th anniversary of the flood as well. That's another thing that happened. But that painting was completely ruined, and they actually did not have the technology to restore it until probably the past 10 years. And then once they got the technology, they didn't have the funding until the last 5 years. So it actually just got put back on display. Thanks, Mom, for telling me about that. It was in an article in the San Jose Mercury News. So it's obviously a big deal. So I got to go see it restored, have it hanging, and then it has like this pulley system. So just in case it ever floods again, they can pull it up and it won't get ruined again. A couple days later, I went to the lab where it had been restored just weeks before. So that was a really cool experience that I never would have ever had without, this program, this class, etc., etc. We also went to a contemporary art exhibit this week with my painting class. We went to Ai Weiwei, who is a huge contemporary artist, and I was completely jazzed on this museum. We had a great tour guide who gave us all the meaning behind his work, and he has a lot of things to say, politically, socially, etc. So he had a lot of meaning behind all of his art, and I was very inspired as someone who hopes to continue art throughout my life, and as someone who cares about kind of the process of art and the meaning behind it. I was completely inspired by that museum visit, so that was really fun as well. So now you are where I am. We're all caught up. That's all of the stuff that's been going on. I feel centered and focused and ready to tackle the last month of school, also my last adventures, and I'm excited for what the last month holds. I don't want to leave yet, but I feel excited to go home. So I think that's a great spot to be in. Well, I know that was a lot, but that is all I have for now. I'm looking forward to my last month here and very grateful for the experiences I've been having. That's all I've got. We will talk soon. Bye!